Incidental whitespace. Ideally, a text block would be indented to match the indentation of the surrounding code. For example, here you have a method, writeHTML, with a text block named HTML, and you see before some whitespace, here, on each line. However, this raises the question of how spaces used for indentation affect the contents of the string. A naive interpretation will include all of this whitespace in the text block. This means this whitespace here will be included too. The consequence will be that reindenting the code would affect the contents of the text block. This is quite likely to be an error. To avoid this problem, a text block differentiates its incidental whitespace from essential whitespace. The Java compiler automatically strips away the incidental whitespace. This means this kind of whitespace could be stripped by the compiler. The indentation to the left of a HTML tag and \HTML tag is considered incidental, since these lines are indented the least. Thus, they effectively determine the left margin of the text in the text block. However, the indentation of body tag relative to HTML tag is not considered to be incidental whitespace. Presumably, this relative indentation is intended to be part of the string's content. So you see, from here, it is incidental, but this whitespace are essential whitespace. The example below use the gray dot to visualize the incidental whitespace with essential whitespace shown as actual whitespace. So let's get back to the method writeHTML with the text block HTML, and you see everything before the first HTML tag is incidental whitespace, but this space here are essential whitespace. After the incidental whitespace is stripped, the resulting contents of the text block are as follows. So this is what you see without the incidental whitespace, which are stripped during the compiler, which is the true result of this text block. So what you see here will not be displayed in the value of the text block. The algorithm for determining incidental whitespace is described in the JEP 378 in detail. Nevertheless, the net effect is quite simple. The entire contents of the text blocks is shifted to the left until the line with the least leading whitespace has no leading whitespace. To preserve some whitespace and not have it be considered incidental whitespace, simply shift the content lines of the text block to the right, while keeping the closing triple quote delimiter as the indentation appropriate for the surrounding code. For example, you see the triple ending quote just here has been shifted to the left. This means that this whitespace will be considered essential whitespace. Result is the following. So you see, you have here some whitespace before the closing HTML tag. A text block can opt out of incidental whitespace, stripping by positioning the closing delimiter in the first character position of a source line. So if you want all the whitespace before the HTML tag, you put the triple ending quote at the first character of the line, like this. And so you will have this kind of result with all the whitespace, The result is that there is no incidental whitespace that is stripped, and the string includes leading whitespace on each line. This technique for controlling the amount of indentation that is preserved only works if the last line of the text block ends with a line terminator. Like this. You see, this is a line terminator. If the last line does not end with a line terminator, you need to use string : indent to control the indentation explicitly. In the following example, string colors, triple quote, you have a text block with 3 values, red, green, blue, and the last value is just followed by the triple closing quote. All of the indentation is treated as incidental and is stripped away. So you see there will be no space before each of the value of the text block. To include some indentation in the string's content, invoke the indent method on the text block, like this. String colors equal triple quote, you put the content in the text block, you close the text block, and you call the method indent with the value 4. the result is a text block with the value preceded by 4 spaces. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.